Schools in Leicester are amongst the lowest scoring in the whole country when it comes to Year 6 pupils' swimming and water survival abilities. New research by the BBC shows that only about 42% of Year 6 students in Leicester can swim 25 metres confidently. That's compared to the East Midlands average of 72%. So that's 42% to 72%. Katrice Rodriguez is from the Unity Swimming in Leicester, and she told me it's not just access to pools that's the issue.
Swimming is the only sport they have to do. It's the only thing that's going to save their life. So it is hard, but I've been working with some local schools and Leicester City Council actually, because we've had some grant funding from the lottery to be able to put on some free school lessons for local schools in the city area, but we've had challenges with logistics, trying to get the kids to the pool. We've got the funding, but it's about getting kind of like the minibuses locally to help us, because we've had big costs and they want us to hire a whole minibus for a whole day, and it's like we're taking them 2 miles.
Well, that's Katrice Rodriguez from Unity Swimming. Who should teach our children to swim? Now, kids should be able to leave primary school able to swim 25 metres confidently and to be able to save themselves. So float on their back, do doggy paddle, whatever it might be. Something like not far short of 30% aren't able to achieve that for a multitude of different reasons. Availability of swimming pools, the cost of doing it, the school to pool, the transportation, all the rest of it. And then people will say, well, hang on a minute, shouldn't that be a parental thing? Well, absolutely, you could argue. It's not just about the learning to swim bit, it's actually the learning to be able to save yourself. And we know that there have been some heart-wrenching tragedies here in Leicestershire this summer alone, but also, every summer, every other summer, we hear of a family losing a young person because they've gone wild swimming or whatever it might be, and it's just awful.
Now, new statistics from the BBC have found that schools in Leicester are among the lowest scoring in the country when it comes to Year 6 children being able to swim or self-rescue. Jake Garner has more details.
Across 86 primary schools, only 42% of pupils could swim the 25 metres and just 56% could safely self-rescue in the water. Some schools recorded particularly low figures. At Bridge Junior School, for example, only 3% of pupils could swim 25 metres, while at Kestrel Mead Primary Academy, the figure was 15%. The data also shows a strong link with deprivation. In schools with the highest levels of free school meal eligibility, only 55% of pupils can swim 25 metres compared to 87% at the least deprived schools. The findings raise concerns about inequalities in access to swimming lessons and vital water safety skills.
So let's look into this a little bit more, shall we? Katrice Rodriguez set up Unity Swimming in Leicester, put on swimming lessons in Black and Asian communities. Katrice, I'm so pleased to talk to you this morning. I mean, these statistics, though, are worrying. What are your thoughts about this research?
Yeah, morning, AD. Yeah, it's not good, and of course, it's kind of like the first year where schools have had to actually report back the figures, and it's really important because swimming is the only sport on the national curriculum that they have to actually do, because it's the only one that's going to save their life. But the statistics in Leicester City, they're shocking, and it's not good. And with these high drownings we're having recently because of the hot weather, it's really not good.
Yeah, how concerning is that? Because that's exactly what I wanted to talk about, is the fact that how concerning are those figures for children and water safety in general?
Well, as you know, I am an advocate about increasing diversity in swimming and getting people from different backgrounds, Black and Asian communities, into swimming. And we do have a multicultural city. And the statistics are that back in 2022, Black children were 7 times more likely to drown than white children. But now it's 4% of Black children, and then 3.5% of Asian children are more likely to drown than white children. So it is an issue, and this is where we're at. This is Leicester.
Mike can send me a message this morning, and honestly, anybody can send in any message, however you feel about this. Mike sent in, morning team, swimming lessons have always been available at most swimming pools. If people cut back on unnecessary items, everyone can afford to learn. Priority is health and safety. Lessons are well worth the cost and the effort as well. Is it as simple as that, though, Katrice?
Yes and no, because you hear about a lot of families that, like, they invest in their kids' football and dancing and all of this, and these are all great things to do, but swimming's going to be the thing that saves their life. So yes, it is about priority, but it's also about the cultural barriers as well. So it's not necessarily the norm for some families, from Black and Asian communities specifically, to do that. And if the parents don't swim, it's harder for them to do that. It is a cost, but as we've said, it's so worth it because it's life-changing.
How do you find as well? Do you think that schools are doing enough to break down these barriers? What is the relationship that you find between schools and swimming?
Well, as a school teacher myself, I've worked in schools and I know it is budget and it's hard, but it is down to the priority. As I said, swimming is the only sport they have to do. It's the only thing that's going to save their life. So it is hard, but I've been working with some local schools and Leicester City Council, actually, because we've had some grant funding from the lottery to be able to put on some free school lessons for local schools in the city area. But we've had challenges with logistics, trying to get the kids to the pool. We've got the funding, but it's about getting kind of like the minibuses locally to help us, because we've had big costs and they want us to hire a whole minibus for a whole day, and it's like we're taking them 2 miles from the local school to the local pool, and we need support with that. So it's the whole kind of like working with the local authorities, the local pools, working with the schools, and the priority for the schools, particularly that water safety message for communities and families that won't really necessarily think that it is that important.
Katrice, I'm always pleased to talk to you. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us more about the challenges and what needs to happen in order to change those statistics as well. Katrice Rodriguez there from Unity Swimming.